When Lauren told me she needed space, it was a Sunday afternoon. We were sitting on our small back porch, drinking coffee. The sun was out, and our dog, Milo, was chasing bees in the yard. Nothing about the moment felt like the beginning of a goodbye, but that's exactly what it was. I don't know who I am anymore, she said. I think I need space. Not forever. Just for a while. Maybe a month or two. I didn't respond right away. I just stared at the cracked rim of my mug and listened to the wind rustling the trees. We'd been together for almost 4 years, engaged for 9 months. Our wedding was supposed to be in December, only 10 weeks away. Her words didn't sound like a cold feet moment. They sounded like something she'd been rehearsing. She added, "This doesn't mean I don't love you. I do, but I've been with you since college ended. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I want to figure out who I am before I walk down the aisle." I finally nodded and said, "Okay, take all the space you need. No begging, no guilt trip." I just let her go. That surprised her. I could tell. She blinked like she expected an argument. But there wasn't going to be one. I already had a gut feeling what this was. She wasn't lost. She just wanted to see what else was out there while keeping me as her emotional safety net. She packed a few bags that night and moved in with a friend of hers, Julia, who had just gone through a messy breakup and lived downtown in a trendy high-rise. Lauren promised to check in, said she'd still help with the wedding plans, but also said she needed freedom for a while. The next few weeks were quiet. She didn't call, didn't text. Her social media, though, that told a different story. I'd stopped checking it after a few days, but one of my friends sent me a screenshot. Then another, and another. She was out almost every night. Bars, rooftop lounges, brunches, group vacations. There were selfies with new people I didn't know, outfits I'd never seen, captions about living her truth and choosing joy. And there were guys. Not in an obvious, affectionate way, but enough that anyone could see she was enjoying the attention. I didn't confront her. What would be the point? She wasn't hiding it. She wasn't thinking about me, or our wedding, or the life we'd been building. She was just gone. That's when I made a quiet decision. Not out of anger, not out of spite, but because I realized something crystal clear. If someone tells you they're unsure about building a future with you, believe them. And don't wait around hoping they'll change their mind. So while Lauren was out rediscovering herself, I started packing. I owned the condo we lived in. Bought it with my own money a year before we even met. And I'd been casually approached by a local real estate agent 2 months ago about selling. It was in a hot neighborhood, and developers were buying up properties fast. I reached out to the agent. She made a few calls, and within a week, we had an offer, 20% above the last appraisal. I accepted. Then I packed up everything Lauren had left behind. Her boxes in the closet, her artwork, even her favorite set of wine glasses, and rented a storage unit in her name. By the time the 3rd week of her break rolled around, I had moved out. I found a small place on the other side of the city. Quiet. Nothing fancy, but mine. I left no note, no message, nothing to explain it. I figured if she really wanted to find herself, she could start by figuring out where I went. It was just over 6 weeks later when I got the first message. "Lauren, hey, I miss you. Can we talk?" I saw it pop up on my phone while I was heating up dinner. I didn't answer. Not right away. I let it sit there for a day. Then 2. She called. "Hey," she said, like nothing had happened. Her voice was soft, careful. I kept it simple. "Hey." She hesitated. "So, I was thinking I could come by this weekend. Maybe we could talk in person?" I told her flatly. "You can't. I don't live there anymore." Silence. Just static on the line. "What do you mean you don't live there?" she asked. "I sold the place." Another long pause. "You sold our home?" I corrected her. "It was never ours. It was mine. I bought it before we met." She started stammering. "But I left my things there. You didn't even tell me? Why would you do that?" I said calmly. "Your stuff's in storage. The lease and keycard info is in your email. I thought you'd appreciate having everything in one place." Then I hung up. That's when the real wave hit. Voicemails. From her mom, even her cousin. Suddenly I was the bad guy. The one who acted impulsively, who overreacted, who didn't give her a chance to come back. But here's the thing. She didn't just take space to think. She left. She posted photos with guys I'd never met, on beaches I'd never been invited to. She acted single. She partied. She kissed freedom on the mouth and called it growth. And now she wanted to walk back into the same house like nothing had changed? I don't think so. I didn't respond to most of the messages. I didn't explain myself to her family. I didn't defend my choices. I didn't owe anyone an explanation for refusing to wait around while someone I loved decided if I was good enough. A few weeks after that, she tried one last time. She showed up outside my new apartment. She looked different. Not bad. Just tired. Less glowing than the girl I saw dancing on rooftop bars in her Instagram stories. "I didn't expect you to move on," she said. I replied, "You didn't expect any consequences." She looked down, then tried to find her footing. I was scared. I didn't want to lose you. I just needed to figure yourself out. I finished for her. I get that. I really do. But you don't get to pause someone else's life while you do it. Her eyes welled up. So what now? I didn't say it to be cruel. I said it because it was true. Now, you live with the choice you made. She asked if we could meet again in a few weeks. Just to talk. I told her no. She asked if there was someone else. There wasn't. Not yet. But it didn't matter. I wasn't hers anymore. I had been. Fully. For 4 years. But the moment she decided I was optional, just someone to return to if things didn't work out elsewhere, she lost the right to call me hers. Months went by. Lauren didn't reach out again after that day in front of my apartment. I think something in my voice made it clear there was no coming back. And maybe for the first time, she truly realized she couldn't undo what she'd done. From mutual friends, I heard she moved back in with her parents. Her mom was furious about the wedding being called off, mostly because of the money. Apparently, they'd paid non-refundable deposits for the venue, catering, and dress. Lauren hadn't told them the full truth at first, just that we were working through some things. That story fell apart quickly. She wasn't working on anything. She just didn't want to be tied down. She wanted a few more months of pretending she was 22 again, instead of facing what it means to commit. I get it. Truly, commitment is heavy. Marriage isn't just cake tasting and first dances. It's life, hard days, bills, aging parents, illness, boredom. You have to want it. You have to choose it. But you don't get to sample freedom and expect someone else to wait frozen in time, loyal and patient, while you figure out whether they still fit into your fantasy. And that's what she did. As for me, I rebuilt, slowly. I focused on work, joined a climbing gym, reconnected with friends I'd neglected during the relationship. I started seeing someone casually a few months later. Nothing serious, just good conversation and simple dinners. It felt nice to laugh without tension, to not feel like I was tiptoeing around someone's indecision. The money from the condo sale gave me breathing room. I didn't blow it. I invested most of it, used some for travel, and kept the rest for a rainy day. That place had been our home in name only. In reality, it was a shell waiting to be broken. And the funny thing? I don't hate Lauren. I'm not angry anymore. Disappointed? Sure, but not bitter. We were young when we met. She thought love meant excitement, butterflies, fireworks. She thought uncertainty was romantic, that figuring yourself out had to happen alone, far away from the person who cared about you. But sometimes, you find yourself in commitment, in showing up, in choosing each other even when it's boring or hard or messy. She didn't learn that in time. And by the time she did, I had already left the version of me that would have waited. One of our mutual friends ran into her recently and said she still brings me up sometimes. Said she called what I did cold. Maybe it was. Maybe kindness would have looked like more talking, more explaining. But sometimes the kindest thing you can do is make it clear someone's choices have weight. I'm not anyone's backup plan. I'm not a layover on the way to finding yourself. I'm someone who deserves to be chosen fully, or not at all. And when Lauren said, I need space to discover who I am, I gave her space. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.